This is an urgent message. Space station shut down. Running low on supplies, and there's something out here with us.
Welcome to the new podcast by Elizabeth McIrvin, the producer and host of Mystery in the Radio Waves, now brings you Mystery in the Space Waves, a podcast where we talk about experiences with extraterrestrials and UFOs. They are out here with us.
It was like visual proof that this is real.
Yeah. Damn.
So for us, we were like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Damn.
Yeah. It was more like that. And then people would talk about it, and you can talk about it to people there and they remember it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's like you can't really find information about it anymore. The news sources and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those things that happened, which is super strange.
So your next one, how old are you?
So I guess that this actually wasn't the first one. The first one, I remember being a kid, like in a baby seat, that young.
What?
And yeah, literally. And I remember us driving, and there's a lot of kind of like canyony looking mountainous areas just outside of Cape Town where you can go to like these kind of dams where you can go and camp out and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the way to like where all the apple farms are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you go through this like mountainous, like, you know, cabinous,
Probably
whatever.
pretty rural and like not a lot of people.
Say again?
Probably pretty rural.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
Not a lot of people.
Just cars kind of
Yeah.
driving,
Mhm.
passing through. Oh, no people,
Yeah.
except for cars that are driving on the freeway through there.
Mhm.
You know, a typical place where you would probably see something.
Yeah.
And I remember being a kid and just looking and seeing this. It was really fucking close by as well. This like flying saucer. It almost looked like a rusted kind of color. And I remember we went around the bend and I saw it, and then we went around the bend again, and I didn't see it again. But I still remember it. Like,
Yeah.
and the weird thing is, it's like I can't even. It felt so real. Maybe it was a dream. I don't know, but it just feels so real.
Well, that seems pretty detailed to be
Yeah. Right.
a vague dream.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially as a kid, before I knew anything about that kind of stuff.
So
know what I
was
mean?
it like cylindrical looking?
It was like, yeah, it was. It was like round.
But it seemed rusted to you? Like,
Yeah, it was like
it was previously like maybe silver aluminum and was rusting above that.
It might have also just been
or
silver.
maybe it was
like
a reflection of the mountains.
I think that's what I was just about to say. I think it could have been something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
because
it
the
was like a
mountains are
camouflage
brown.
thing.
Yeah, because they usually are like a reflective mirror kind of surface.
Yeah.
Either they're black or silver for the most part. And even when they're black, it's reflective. It's just like night reflective or whatever. Yeah.
Interesting.
So maybe it was like reflecting on the mountain, but you still saw like the detail of the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
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 That's
So that one was
crazy.
as a kid.
Did you ever tell your parents about that later? Like, oh, hey, like I remember seeing a UFO when I was like super, super young.
I don't know. I really can't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay. Well, so kid UFO sightings. What about adult UFO sightings?
So I was probably around 18, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we were lying down outside of her. She had like a balcony.
There's a lot of balconies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She lived in this like really like big house, and then where she had like her own balcony going off from her bedroom. And we were lying outside the one night, and we were looking at the stars. We would really love looking at the stars. And we saw this like triangle, like there was like 3 stars that were like a triangle that kept staying together. And we noticed that, and we were like, wait, what the fuck? Like those stars are moving with each other.
Yeah.
And we watched it for hours. And it was like moving erratically.
Wow.
Yeah, erratically, like like that. We were like, okay, well that's
What time do you think
weird.
it was at night?
Oh, I can't remember. Probably pretty late because we would like steal her parents' alcohol. And when I say
Wait until
steal,
they go to bed.
yeah, I would say
When you say
steal
steal, you
loosely
mean
because I don't think.
Put in a different cup and then put some water back in the liquor bottle. Steal.
No, we weren't that smart.
Oh my
No,
god.
we would just take the bottle and drink it.
You didn't give a fuck.
But honestly, I don't think her parents gave a fuck.
You guys don't think you were drunk when you saw it? Were you sober?
No, I don't think we were drunk.
No.
No.
I mean, if you
I
say
mean, we might have, maybe, but we were
Yeah.
pretty,
but like
cognizant.
extreme enough for like you to notice.
100%.
sky,
I don't
yeah.
actually, I don't really remember being drunk.
Yeah.
I remember things being very clear.
Like you can remember the details pretty clearly and you can like picture it in your mind from your memory pretty clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably weren't that intoxicated then. You sure you didn't get abducted?
No, but we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. Huh. Interesting.
You don't really remember going to bed?
I don't remember.
Oh, interesting.
I don't remember what we did.
Afterwards, you don't remember what you did after you saw it.
You know what? We might not have been drunk. I think we might have been out. You know what? I don't think we were drunk. We were out there smoking because she used to smoke a lot. And
Like
so
cigarettes?
I would smoke with her. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
that's
okay.
probably why we were sober enough.
Yeah.
That we were.
Got you,
I
got
don't
you,
think
got
we were
you.
drunk.
Yeah, but you can't remember what y'all did after that.
No. I can't.
Do you know?
We might have had sex, honestly.
Oh
to
my
be
god!
honest with you.
That's why you forgot about
We
it
had a
because it
lot
was
of-
so
I
bad.
mean, yeah, we had a lot of
Oh my
sex.
god! I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was like my first. You know.
Oh, that's cute. That's
Yeah,
cute.
first
Something.
girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So like, did you guys talk about it afterwards? Like in the morning?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Oh my god, that was super fucking weird.
Well, yeah, no. I don't think we were like, oh, that was super fucking weird. We were like, that was fucking cool. I don't think we were surprised.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
weren't.
yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Well, she probably had her own UFO
we believe
experiences,
her.
huh?
Yeah, exactly. We believe.
Yeah.
We believed it.
Yeah. Oh, you guys maybe talked about it beforehand
I
that you
told
guys
her-
believe in that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I told her about my story with the green
Got
light.
you. Did she tell you about any stuff with her?
I think she did. I just can't really remember.
Yeah, that's okay. I just
Yeah,
curious if she
I can't
had
really
her own experiences.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think she might have said something. Her parents maybe had an experience or something.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, what's the next one?
Okay, so I'm probably gonna jump around timeline wise because I just from what I can remember, right?
Yeah.
I'll go to the one that happened most recently. So I was sleeping. And
Wait. Most recently, meaning like when? When did this
like
happen?
maybe about a year ago.
A year ago.
Maybe, yeah,
And a year ago was 2022.
I think so.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah.
What year are we in? I don't know.
I know. I don't even know.
Okay.
We're in
anyways.
2023
Okay.
now.
I know. Anyways.
So
Existential crisis. Anyways, so yeah, this was like a year ago. So you're in your apartment that you're currently living in right now.
Yeah.
And you're in a type of apartment where you live like on a high floor. Like there's high
So
buildings. You could see
Yes.
a lot out your windows, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you're like kind of watching the sky? And you
Not at
see
all.
something? No.
It wasn't a seeing UFO.
It wasn't
experience.
a seeing UFO. Okay.
It was a easiest to just explain.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lying in bed
Yeah.
and
Let me guess.
chills.
You had time missing.
I get chills thinking about this.
I'm sure.
A bright light shone through my window. Like I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god.
And
Beam.
it was a beam. 100%. It was. Whether this was like a sleep paralysis thing or what,
Oh.
but it was weird.
Oh god.
And I literally a beam of light shone through my window like whoosh, like that, and I
Yeah.
lifted up. Like I'm not even kidding. But the crazy thing that happened was that it was almost like there was this feeling inside my body that was. It was almost like my body was telling me, what you think is happening right now is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But
Actually, I do remember you telling me about
Remember I
that.
told you about
yeah,
this?
Yeah.
but you're safe.
Mm.
We don't want to harm you. No. It wasn't like that because it wasn't a voice.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
a feeling.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a
that too,
feeling.
yeah.
It was not a feeling. It was not scary.
Mm.
It was not scary actually,
Mm-hmm.
which is what's so strange.
Mm.
it was
Wait,
almost
so-
like this like overflowing thing of love. I don't know how to explain it. And
But you said that you were like kind of lifted off the bed.
I literally felt like I was levitating off the bed.
Like
up. Like as if I was
the
being
whole
beamed up.
time it was occurring, or it just happened for a couple seconds you were down,
So
or
this
like
was just for a couple of seconds,
Yeah.
and then it was almost like then I opened my eyes, as you know, and then I was just lying in my bed and it was dark, and I was like, that's when because I woke up and it was like really dark. It was still really late at night. So it wasn't like I woke up the next morning kind of thing.
You're saying that like something kind of snapped. So like the beam of light was in your room. You were sort of fucking levitating. You
Yeah.
had this feeling,
Yeah.
you know, and then all of a sudden snap. The light is gone. You kind of open your eyes and it's dark in your room.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was like,
you
and I woke up
Did you
and I
have your
was-
light on before?
No.
No. Okay. It was already off. Okay.
It was already off.
Yeah.
I was sleeping. I went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
I was busy sleeping when that happened. And the crazy thing is, when I woke up, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, was that real?
Mm-hmm. Did you have any time missing? Did you look at your phone or the clock to see what time it was? Or after it was done, did you grab your phone and, you know, just to even be like, what do I do? Like, what's the time? Like, what's happening, you know?
I have to think about that. The brain is so powerful. You know what I mean?
but
Now it's like playing
also,
tricks
like,
on me. I'm
you
like,
know what?
wait, was the sun coming out? I can't, you know what I mean?
But
I'm
it's funny because when me and Logan were telling ours and recording ours last night, like we also had trouble remembering the immediate time afterwards.
yeah.
Like not
Which
that
is what
like
they say happens to people.
right, but like not that like
A lot of people report
I
that.
do have a vague memory. I had time missing in an instance when I was driving a car or whatever somewhere
Oh,
in
yeah,
North
yeah,
Carolina
yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
And what's it called? Afterwards, like I do remember like being like back or whatever,
Yes.
and I remember like getting home, but like my memory is like very vague. Like what was I thinking? What was I doing? Did I call somebody in like a
Yeah.
panic? Like,
I've experienced
it's
that
a little
before.
hard to remember.
I've experienced that before where it's like you're on a trip which is supposed to take 2 hours.
yeah.
And it's like, wait, did I just do that in like an hour or 45 minutes or something? How's that
yeah.
possible? It's a 2-hour drive.
Oh,
Like, how did we get
Does
here
that happen to
already?
you a lot? That only happened to me one time,
remember-
but I noticed.
Really?
anyways.
When we were when I was pretty young, we would always go to like, we had like this timeshare at this hotel in this town called Penberg Bay. And it would be like a 6-hour drive to get there.
Yeah.
And I remember we did it, and we like once did it in like way faster than what we were supposed to.
Yeah.
And we didn't understand.
Like 2-3 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom was still married to this other guy, and he was even confused. He was like, how the hell did we get here so quickly? Like, he was like, I don't know how that's possible. Like so we didn't understand. We were like,
yeah, super weird.
huh? You know?
Okay. Well, what did you think about this beam thing? Like, did you see any marks on your body afterwards? Did you feel weird? Like, do you have any kind of
I
vague
definitely think
memory?
I think I do remember checking to see if there was any like marks or anything. And
Yeah.
I don't think I saw anything.
Yeah.
I remember being like, wow, if that just happened, that wasn't so bad. And
Well, just because
So
you don't
what?
remember, what if it was like traumatizing as fuck while it was happening?
well, I haven't had any nightmares or any bad feelings about it.
Interesting.
It's like it was almost like a sense of peace. It's weird, right?
Creepy.
I don't go to sleep at night like being worried that I'm gonna get beamed or something.
Interesting.
You know?
Okay. Has any other UFO or alien experiences happened after that? Because that was a year ago. So have you had
Yeah.
anything more recent? Like nothing in Joshua Tree or anything?
Oh, I mean, so in Joshua Tree. Oh, but hang on a sec. I think this happened after that.
So
I just can't remember. Was I
oh
with
my
Barrett
God.
at that time? So
I don't know.
I know I was at my ex-boyfriend's birthday in Joshua Tree, and we were driving around, and we saw these like weird clouds that just looked like these like circles, and we were like, strange.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to like be moving. Very
I saw a cloud by downtown LA that looked like that recently
Really?
when we were getting back from something.
very like
yeah.
Nope. But before I'd watched Nope, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nope hadn't come out yet. So we were like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've always had this strange connection to aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I would have dreams of them and stuff when I was a kid. I remember vividly this dream I had where I'm in this like junkyard, right? And I walk into the junkyard and there's a UFO that's there. And I go into it and I see them operating on somebody or something like that. And I see it and then they turn and they see me for a second. And I just bolted. I run. I run. And I do. And I make it out. And then I woke up, you know. And I don't know. I had like weird dreams like that quite a bit when I was a kid.
I mean, that's like pretty creepy and detailed.
Very creepy and very
I feel
detailed.
like that almost could
Yeah.
be real, and that's a memory.
Yeah, maybe, but I just
Maybe because they put people on tables. Like people wake up on tables. Like that's a routinely like thing that happens. You know, so like I don't think it would be totally out of the realm of like if you did get snatched up, something that you would run into or whatever.
I think it's always felt like more of like a connection of like that they don't want to really harm me. Like more like I have a connection to space. I don't know if that sounds weird, but like you know, like those they're called indigo children.
You know that it's a thing that some people think that if you believe in reincarnation, then it's like a possibility that you could have lived other lives on different planets.
Yeah.
Versus this one.
And
do you
I'm-
think you have lived lives on other planets?
I'm
Daniel?
I'm not like completely closed-minded to it.
Yeah.
I'm totally
I wouldn't
open
be
to that
surprised you
possibility.
have that vibe.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of weird. Yeah, and I definitely feel like I mean I've had other experiences. I know this has nothing to do with UFOs, but I've had other weird experiences in
Yeah.
dreams of being other people and stuff like that.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, I have too. But like as far as space and UFOs and shit like that, I don't know. Honestly, that stuff like really terrifies me.
Really?
I like sense a sinister vibe. I'm like very terrified of aliens and abduction and seeing UFOs. I'm very terrified.
That's interesting. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not at all.
They're pretty scary.
I'm more scared of like demons and possession and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm pretty
Or
scared
I'm
of that
more
too, for
fearful-
sure. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm more fearful of that. I'm not scared. You know, like I know I'm protected. I'm fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that I'm more cautious of, and I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you kind of a little details why I'm scared. Okay. So one is that like I kind of keep hearing the same thing over and over again, which like I personally believe in a way to be true. Is that like right now there are like sort of like 3 different type of alien races that are like hanging around the planet.
Yeah.
There's like the
Greys.
humanoid. Yeah, there's the grays, the greens with the big eyes.
The lizard ones, yeah.
The lizard ones and the humanoid ones that like kind of look like us but not like us or whatever. So it's like those 3 different ones, and like they all have like their own little.
I don't know too much about the
motivations.
humanoid ones, but I know more about the greys and
The
lizard.
humanoid ones they describe as like being, I don't know, almost like Aryan, like blonde, blue eyes, and like human features, but some things being a little different.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Fair.
But I don't. Well, they say that there's some type of like relation to us or whatever, like a similarity in our genetics or whatnot. Yeah. So
Wait, the lizard ones?
No, the humanoid ones.
Okay, I was about to say.
Obviously, Daniel.
Okay. That's why I was like, what? Okay. I was confused for a second.
That like they do fucking, I don't know. I don't really think the Illuminati shit is true or whatever. But like I do definitely think that like they do like hang around and present as human.
Okay.
You know, because I even had an experience with somebody that I totally suspect not to have been a human being.
Wow.
And actually, it's kind of funny because I was like, oh, I ran out of stories because me and Logan told like almost all of our UFO stories last night. But this is the only one
You
that I
didn't
had
talk
left.
about.
I totally
Okay.
forgot because it's totally different. Like, you know, meeting somebody that you're like, something is like really off and like
Oh,
not
yeah.
in a mental way
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And I have
You're
related.
making me think of somebody that I work with.
But
Okay.
related to that, I got to tell you something later about like
Mm.
something else having to do with that, but I'm not going to say it right now or whatever. Anyways, okay. So I was working at Subway. I was like fucking not fucking, but I was working
Not at Subway.
No, I was not fucking. I was working at Subway. I was like 18 years old.
Okay.
And it was like one of my first jobs. And of course, you know, they put young people late at night and,
Yeah.
you know, kind of by themselves or whatever, or just with one other person.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like pretty slow, like random night of the week or whatever. And I'm the only one up at the front. And like some guy walks in. I'm like, okay, like let me take care of this guy or whatever.
I feel like you might have told me the story, but keep
Maybe I possibly could have. Because we've known each other for like 6 or 7 years
A
now.
long
So
ass
I'd be
time.
like pretty fucking surprised if I've
Long
never
ass
brought
time.
it up.
going. Yeah.
But anyways, so he's like walking in and I'm like noticing him. I'm taking him in and he's like really tall, like almost Skeletor looking, like white, bald man.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
got like baggy, you know, like gray and black and like dark green colored clothes, like that don't really fit him properly, and boots. I don't know. He just like, and I think he was even wearing a hat that like kind of seemed like 1940 style or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. It was like clothes that could vaguely be like a lot of time periods or
Yeah.
whatever in America.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know, like just the way that he was like kind of like just I don't know, he just didn't
Seemed
look
unnatural.
Yeah, he just didn't look right in his body. And so like he comes up to me and he's like looking at the food and everything and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" He doesn't say anything. And then I'm like, "What would you like?" You know, and he's like looking at the vegetables and he's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I do remember you actually did.
And
tell me
he's
this, and I can't
pointing
remember
at the
details.
fucking cucumbers and I'm like, those are cucumbers.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, what's that?" And I say jalapenos. And I'm just like in my head, like, how is this guy like fucking with me? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, nobody's
Yeah.
ever asked me, like, what the fuck the vegetables are? Like?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so weird. So, anyways, he like says, you know, like I take him through the motions of like,
And he had like an
bread.
American accent.
It was like maybe vaguely like Eastern European, American, like I don't know. And plus also, well, he kind of had like a deep-ish voice and he didn't really say like a ton of words. No, actually I don't.
Because maybe they don't have cucumbers
Did
and
he have a deep
jalapenos
voice, or was it a
in like
light?
Eastern Europe or some shit.
No, they got
I'm being a detective here. I'm just trying to.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to, you know me, devil's advocate.
But the cucumbers, like, come on, you know? No, I mean,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he pointed at like multiple stuff. Like,
Okay.
and then I think even I might have like, because he seemed so confused, I think I might have just like put some shit together for him or whatever
Oh,
and
wow.
kind of just like asked him like, what vegetables do you want or whatever, because he just didn't really seem, I don't know. He wasn't like on it. Like, yeah, I'll have that bread. And yeah, I'll have that
There was
cheese.
something off.
Like everything was like confusing to him. Like he
Yeah.
had never ordered before in his entire fucking life. And this guy actually looked like he was in his like 60s or 70s. Like he looked pretty fucking old.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm sure you must have like ordered a sandwich before, bro. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, like I'm getting done and I don't even remember how he checks out. Like if he paid with a credit card or cash, maybe with cash. Ugh, I can't fucking remember. Maybe it was because I think I remember giving him back change and he also seemed confused by that. Like I slid him like, you know, the coins on the like silver like platter thing. Anyway, so I like put his food on a tray and I give it to him and he's like standing with the tray and kind of looking around and kind of looking at like the chairs and the tables and then looking back like over at me in the hallway and the food and everything. And then he looks at me and he's like, "May I consume my food here?"
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, there, you can sit at the tables and chairs over there.
Mm.
And he's like, "Okay, thank you." I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, I can see, that sounds like
may
how
I
an alien would-
consume my food here? Whatever.
And
what
then he started putting it in the
human
back of his head. And,
Oh
yeah.
my god. But like, yeah, he just like sat there and ate his fucking food and then he left and I was just like, that was the creepiest fucking dude I've ever met in my goddamn life. Like, I don't know. That line just really like sealed the deal for me. And I even thought like immediately while it was happening, like there's something not right about this. He doesn't seem human. Like there's something super off about his body, the way he's walking, the way he looks, like everything.
Well,
his
honestly,
responses to stuff.
You should watch videos of the ex-presidents of South Africa.
The ex-president of South Africa.
Yeah.
Why?
He's like one of those also where you just like, what? Like there's something weird about this guy. Like he's almost like, he even has like an elongated like
Oh
skull
god!
like
Oh my
this.
god!
He's just like a weird.
Oh my
weird
god! That's
dude.
creepy. I'm gonna have to Google pictures.
It almost
of
looks
this
like
person,
everything is
yeah.
just so calculated and like
Yeah.
it's just kind of like a robot almost.
Weird. Yeah, it seemed very robotic.
Mm.
Yeah, but not like I thought it was a robot. I straight up thought alien. Like that was my like gut feeling or whatever at the time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It was 2 weeks before went to my cousin's house for the first time back then where they lived. And I had a dream 2 weeks before that I was at this house and walked through all these rooms and very specifically and it was 2 weeks later and I got to their house and I immediately realized that this was the house. And I said to them, guys, I've dreamt about your house. I know where everything is.
Wow.
And they'd never showed me.
Yeah.
And I walked in the house and I showed them where the kitchen is, where her room is, where the bathroom is, where her mom's room
that's
was,
crazy.
the outside pool.
Yeah.
Insane. Right?
Crazy.
And then the
Nuts.
other one I had, which was insane, was I didn't even know how that's possible. I was on shrooms, but what happened is I was at this festival and I literally saw an hour play out where people had an argument with somebody about somebody was flirting with somebody's girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, I can't remember. And this whole fight broke out. It was this whole thing and everyone was angry. And I saw it all happen in front of me. And then the next thing was like, poof, I was there talking to, was that same girl up from the other story. We were just chatting. And we were chatting just about, and it was almost like I was like, and then all of a sudden, everything that I just saw for an entire hour started happening right in front of me.
That's crazy. Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. Damn.
So weird.
Weird.
Very weird.
Weird. We've
Yeah.
seen a lot of weird things, Daniel.
Yeah, I have lots of other weird stories.
Okay. Well, maybe save
But they're
for
not about
another one.
aliens, so that's why
Yeah,
we're going to
yeah,
talk about them.
yeah. But a lot of good alien experiences.
Well, this could be an alien story. Maybe. You can decide to include it or not. But I dreamt that I was sleeping and I was floating in like a space void, like almost like in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was completely like naked and had no hair on my body, almost like kind of like how they look in like the Matrix when they're plugged, you know?
Yeah.
They're natural. And then I like sunk down through this like liquid. And then when I was in this liquid, it was like that feeling I had with the beam of like you're safe, you're comfortable, you're good, you're loved, all that kind of thing. It was like the most love and comfortableness, and like it was like I could just be in there forever and be happy. It was like there was nothing that I needed to achieve or this or that, or there was nothing that I want, that I needed else in
Creepy.
life. It was like it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
That
And
creeps me out, man.
yeah, it's kind of creepy, right? And then when I came through out of the water again, that's when I like woke up like that. I don't know. That could have been like maybe a spacey thing as well. I don't know. I looked at that as a kind of almost like a
Like
weird
maybe
religious
an
thing, a
old
spiritual
shit
thing.
memory or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a memory though. It felt real and happening at the moment.
Wow.
Um,
How many times
yeah.
do you think you've realistically been abducted?
I don't know. I don't.
Well, like if you were to
Don't.
guess, like if you were just like throw it out there, just like guess how many times you've been abducted. Like what's your gut feeling?
I don't know if I've ever been abducted per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even when I was beamed like that, maybe it wasn't to abduct me. It was to send me that message of peace and that whatever that race was is not a threat.
I mean, it could be like some type of drug or like something that they could influence how you feel while they're fucking abducting you and, you know, putting you on a table and doing God knows what. And it's like, well, of course they don't want you panicking because you're going to be screaming and waking people up.
But what if they're like
whatever?
But what if they are not putting me on? What if they didn't put me on a table though? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And some of them are coming with a message of peace
Maybe.
and are trying to get us ready for something so that we can not destroy ourselves. What if it's like an agenda that like the government and movies and stuff have made us like fear them because they're actually here to help us, and that's a way that the government can keep control, and which is why they don't talk about it ever, because then we'll start figuring out that some of them are actually here for us.
Like, look, if they actually like are here for us, like, look, to be abducted is like very traumatizing. It's essentially like you're being kidnapped, right?
Well, it wasn't for me.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if we think about like all of the stories of like people being abducted,
do people often say 50s, that it was traumatic
80s,
for them?
whatever. Oh yeah.
Do they really say
that? Yeah. That is like the majority of what I hear from people and their experiences is that they were fucking like terrified.
Wow.
And like, I don't know, like that peace, love feeling, like I don't really feel like it's not like I never heard that, but I don't feel like I hear it too often.
So maybe it wasn't aliens, the beam. Maybe it was something else.
Maybe that was more like spiritual, like spirit guide type
like
shit.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was then.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. The thing about the beam is pretty
weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds a lot.
I mean, I'm not saying that like it has to be traumatizing every time somebody's being abducted or whatever.
A dream that just felt super real. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it's very random. That like, why would I dream about that?
Yeah.
I don't think there was nothing to do with aliens or anything at that time that I was doing or researching or watching.
Right.
So it was very like weird. But not scary at all. Like it was like,
if I were to guess how many times I've been abducted, I would say at least 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with that for me as well then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because in North Carolina, you know, probably like South Africa, it's like country roads, middle of nowhere type shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, where like I could probably lose time, maybe not all the way notice or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe just so happened that one time I did notice.
Well, the crazy thing is like when I'm at work sometimes, I'll like look at my watch and I'll be like, I could have sworn it said 6:15 when I last looked, and now it says 6:05. What?
Yeah.
But supposedly as well, it's always like time goes forward, not backwards when you get abducted. From what I've heard, like time passes.
Yeah.
It doesn't go back.
Yeah. Totally.
So that's another weird thing that I like don't understand, because I fucking swear it said 6:30 and now it says 6:15. How is that fucking possible? Unless my watch is malfunctioning.
That's a glitch in the matrix, man.
Or it's a glitch in the matrix.
No, or maybe just a glitch
Which
in
could
the
be a whole
dimension
other
or
topic,
whatever.
because I've definitely seen things and experienced things that are very matrix glitchy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That could be like a whole other
I do
podcast.
think there are like different dimensions for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So maybe it's not even, we're just using a word that we know from a movie that we all know.
Yeah.
You know,
totally.
to describe something that we all experience. Like there probably are
realities mesh into realities.
Yeah, so there probably
like that,
are like glitches in dimensions where like they overlap or whatever.
I like to believe in like using science with like probability or hypothesis, right? And like scientifically it is possible that there are alternate dimensions. You know what I mean? It's very possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes when we see those things
that's
before they
very
happen,
possible.
it's because we saw one of the paths that we can go on, one of the other alternate realities. And we've seen that already.
Yeah.
Or we remember that memory of, because it's already happened.
Yeah.
Because you could almost like technically say everything's already happened. I do think.
Could you technically say
I
that?
don't think that. I don't think
kidding.
everything. I think there's different possibilities of what is happening right now, which is going to happen to us in the future. And it's kind of, we do, I feel, have some control to steer towards the different realities, depending on the choices we make.
Yeah.
And there's even a there's a study that we are time traveling all the time. I today
But like as a metaphor.
No, literally.
Literally.
Because like we're traveling through those dimensions because it's like before I went to go get that toothpaste before I came here, I experienced what my reality would have been like if I didn't get the toothpaste and I went straight to you. Then I saw myself going to Trader Joe's tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I don't have time to do that. Or I could just cross the street now and go get the Trader Joe's. You know what I mean? Or I could cross the street there. Or I could cross the street here. That means I'd have to cross there as well. I've seen all those different possibilities. How is... you can't say that is 100% not looking into those different realities.
Yeah, I can see that.
They could be as real as me and you sitting here right now.
Yeah. Well, do you think that aliens have the same capability to like mess around with like time and dimensions and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
probably in a different way.
Yeah, I think they're so far more advanced than we are. I think they've been around here for a lot longer than us.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah.
I think we're a pretty new young species.
Yeah. Do you think everybody's had UFO experiences?
I don't know. Maybe. But they won't admit it.
You've just heard Mystery in the Space Waves. Hosted, edited, and with sound design by yours truly, Elizabeth McIrvin. Make sure to subscribe to be the first to hear new episodes. If you would like your UFO story told on this podcast, email mysteryinthespacewaves@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.